From Learfield on the Mustangs Sports Network, live from Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, this is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. Brought to you by Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue with daily food and drink specials. Join the MVP Club today. NTTA. Save money on North Texas toll roads with an SMU toll tag. Nissan. Proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. Also by Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Proud sponsors of SMU Athletics. Texas Health Resources. Now over 350 North Texas locations. Find us at texashealth.org. And by Credit Union of Texas. Be a part of something unexpected. CUTX.org. Experience more. Here is your host, Rich Phillips.
Good evening once again. Welcome to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich here at Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas. I am Rich Phillips, and yes, they applauded for me, but when the coach walked in the door before the show was even on the air, you got your own applause. No applause meter was necessary for Tim Jankovich, the head coach of the Mustangs.
I saw your applause meter. I saw it. I wasn't even going to say it, but you brought it up, so thank you. Thank you.
My applause meter is my hands, and you can do it simply yourself if you'd like to as well.
No, not going there.
Okay.
Good to be here, though, and thank you, everybody, for coming.
And it's good to see you here tonight after another 2-0 week for the Mustangs last week with wins at home against Tulane, on the road Saturday night at the University of Houston, and they were just exactly how the coach drew both of those up, right?
Absolutely. We have a new way to win now. What we do, we trick our opponent, and we get way behind early, and we get them into a sense of complacency, and then we just kind of turn it on. It's clever strategy. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's wearing me out, just so you know. Is anyone else tired? Am I the
Yes.
only one that's tired? Our guys are tired, too, and we have, the schedule falls at different times to give different teams the week off, and it could not come at a more perfect time, I don't think. I mean, if we could have picked right now, this would be exactly when I would like to not have a game on Wednesday or Thursday. And so hopefully we can recharge a little bit and come out storming like we did the last time we had a week off.
Yeah, it would certainly be good to see that. I often wonder, games like that, I mean, you were down 15 at the half against Tulane. It was 13 at one point of the first half at Houston, got it closer than that by the half, but I often wonder, what are those inspiring words that Coach is giving his players in the locker room at halftime that brings them back to the second half?
Yeah, well, of course, everybody wants to know that. First thing I did is look for a chair that I could throw, but then I thought, that's not going to be a great motivator. And honestly, I don't know exactly what, but with this team, I know that from the outside you feel like, well, the coach went in there and I'll bet he just, started screaming and hollering and cussing and whatever it is you do. But this group, I didn't think that was, and I told them, that's probably what you think I'm going to do, but it's not. There's no sense in, going over what just happened behind us. We've just dug ourselves a hole. We got to figure out how we're going to win the game. And so really, honestly, we just talked about, all right, this is what we're going to have to do if we're going to have any chance to win the game. And as they've done so many times, they just, they turned to a different level, and their competitive spirit came out. And I do want to say this. I think a lot of people, we were coming off the Cincinnati game, which obviously was such a huge emotional win and all those kind of things. And then we're ranked, and then everybody on campus is telling them how wonderful they are and all that. And so if ever there was a time, and I knew that it was very possible that you're not going to be at your sharpest, it was going to be that Wednesday night, but I have to say, a part of it was we were not unbelievably sharp. I'll give you that. But I tell you what, Tulane was incredible the first half. That was the best half anyone has come in here and played against us. And then you could say, well, we weren't ready. Or, yeah, we were ready. We missed some layups and we're a little off. But not as bad as the score. I thought they were amazing. And that's what worried me. It wasn't as much about we were just so pathetic as it was the other team looked great. And that's why, for me, the halftime was more about what we're going to have to do to them than it is, hey, you guys are not ready, and we can yell at you all you want. But I got to give them credit. They come in with a record like that, and they're still fighting and getting better. And they're a dangerous team. I think they'll win several more games. I really do.
Well, and not to downplay what anybody else in the league did this week, but on the way home Saturday night, I thought, well, surely for the third consecutive week, we're going to have the conference player of the week. I was shocked Ben Moore didn't get it today, but what a week that guy had last week. 15 and 13 points and rebounds against Tulane, and then he backed it up with 18 and 13 on Saturday night and has become just a force on the boards for you.
He was incredible, and my guess is the reason he didn't get it because they would say, well, we can't just keep giving SMU guys every week, but how could Ben not get it?
I know.
Holy cow, how could you do more to help your team win than he did? I don't understand that, and he probably doesn't understand that either, but you watch him play, he probably also, it's the last thing on his mind.
Yeah.
He's the most unselfish winner that you could ever hope to coach. I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more before he leaves here, and I wish he would never leave, but he's doing so many of the little things. He doesn't really care how many scores or what kind of credit he gets, but when you're the coach and you study your team and you watch film hour after hour and you see a guy that is just doing so many subtle, little, smart, winning things, it's incredible. And you just cannot help but love coaching a guy like that.
Yeah, he's going to end up in the top 10 in rebounding in SMU history, already over 1,000 points. He has been quite a warrior for 4 years here at SMU.
That's great. I didn't realize on the rebounding total. So much deserved. He's going down as one of the great players that ever played here. He's also going down as one of the winningest players that ever played here. Pretty good stuff, and if you ask him, I guarantee you he'd want to be known as one of the winningest players.
Sure. Well, he's going to have to tackle his teammate to do that because Sterling's one ahead of him.
Oh, my gosh.
He missed one game last year.
How about that?
How about it?
They'll never, the rest of their lives, he's going to not let him live that one down.
Nope. And then this week, the new rankings come out, 17th in the AP, 21st in the coaches poll. And again, I know it's not what you're after and what you're for, but again, good to see the nation continues to take notice of what you do around here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's certainly not the end all or end goal, but we do want it, and it's great. It's coming at the right time, and we're moving up. We're moving up at the right time. This is when you want to be recognized, not early in the year. That all means nothing. That's why I hate all the preseason stuff. It's a waste of time, and what's going on in December. But this is when you want to be there. This is when you want to be playing your best. It's when you want to be recognized. Seedings are going to come in and bids are going to go out, and you need to be positioned. And it's great that we have managed to do that.
And that's 2 10-game win streaks this year, and you are 2 points away from a 21-game win streak. How about that?
We are. We talk about that every now and then. Like we had, I know you remember. You wouldn't even let it go. But,
I know. I don't let things go.
The Cincinnati game, we had Sterling's 3 kind of looked around a little bit and then came out, and then Ben rebounded the ball, and then some things happened, and then we didn't. But we were a half inch from maybe pulling that out, and we kind of talk about that. But at the same time, you never know. Had we won that game, would it all still play out exactly the same? You could never say that, but. It has been a fun year. More to do. This is the time of year when pressure builds, attention is more magnified. Distractions are everywhere because of the attention and because of all that's going on. So, but it's also the funnest time of the year. It is, and we're looking forward to the home stretch.
Has this been more fun than last year when you started 18-0 even?
Yeah, that was fun too.
Yeah,
that was good.
When you don't lose, it's fun. I know.
Yeah, winning is it's a pretty simple formula if you want to enjoy yourself in this profession, for sure. I don't know. I don't know how to measure that one, but I guess for me, last year there was always the cloud. Well, we're not going anywhere anyway, and so it was very satisfying to be able to win our way through very tough times and when the incentive was not high. But this one, the stakes are different, so maybe from that standpoint, it's a little more fun this year.
And just one game for SMU this week. It is Saturday on the road at 11 a.m. Central Time against Connecticut. It is on CBS television this week and also on 770 KAAM. I want to remind you that every week here at Humperdinck's, you can ask questions of the coach. You can do it in 3 different ways. Hit the Ask the Coach button on SMUMustangs.com. Submit your questions on Twitter with the hashtag of AskTim, or you can find one of our staff members. They're sitting at the back tonight and turn in a question to them as well every Monday night here at Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue. We're here every Monday from 7 until 8 during the season for the SMU Mustangs, and we're going to review last 2 games a little more closely, including a pretty tight one with a pretty nice backing for us down in Houston on Saturday. That'll be coming up next here on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Ruthie's Rolling Cafe, serving up the best grilled cheese in Texas. For 4 years in a row, Ruthie's has been voted the best food truck of SMU and Park Cities. Ruthie's is a crowd favorite among the ponies. You can find the food trucks rolling on SMU campus, SMU home games, and you can find them regularly at Clyde Warren Park. To book Ruthie's for a private party, visit their site at ruthiesfoodtrucks.com. Because after all, there ain't no party like a grilled cheese party. So, seize the cheese.
The Century 21 brand has become synonymous with one name, Mike Bowman, honorably distinguished to retain the #1 office in the world in closed transactions. Not just once or twice, but an astounding 16 times. And they continue to be a proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Discover for yourself how the dedicated team at Century 21, Mike Bowman, can make your real estate transaction the best you will ever experience at c21bowman.com.
Get closer to the game day action. Enter the Nissan Ultimate Access Sweepstakes for your chance to win a diehard fan experience. Enter at choosenissan.com/sweepstakes and you could walk away with a win. Take on game day. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the SMU Mustangs. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Starts 2/10/17 and ends on 3/6/17. Open to residents of the contiguous 48 U.S. states D.C. 18 and over. Official rules. Visit choosenissan.com/sweepstakes.
If you're an SMU fan, you bring your game face to the game. But if you're an SMU super fan, your car brings its game face too. By wearing an official red and blue SMU toll tag. Because superfans know nothing says you pony up everywhere you drive like an NTTA SMU toll tag, just $19.99. To get yours, stop by SMU Parking and ID Services or any toll tag store location. The North Texas Toll Tag Authority. Get there smarter.
Hey SMU fans, it's never too late to score delicious pizza with Papa John's 8 after 8 deal. All through SMU basketball season, you can get a large 3-topping pizza for only $8 after 8 p.m. Great for game night or any night. Order online at papajohns.com with promo code 8 after 8. Pony up.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official sponsor of SMU Athletics.
Not valid with other discounts, prices, participation, and delivery area may vary. Taxes and fees extra.
Are you serving or have served our country? SMU's Lyle School of Engineering offers master's programs and tuition reductions for military personnel across the globe. For veterans and those in the uniformed services of the U.S., our distance education programs provide a way to help engineer our nation's future. It's just one way SMU is saying thank you to those who protect and serve our country. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu.
Welcome back to Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas. It's the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I am Rich Phillips with you every Monday night from 7 until 8. It's brought to you in part by the Sewell Automotive Companies. Visit Sewell.com to see the showcase of 9 premier luxury automotive marques. Sewell Automotive Companies, obsessed with service since 1911. The SMU Mustangs with 2 wins this past week at home on Wednesday, 80-75 over Tulane. As Saturday night down in Houston, 76-66. Obviously, both those games, we touched on it briefly earlier. Team dug a little bit of a hole early on, 15 on Wednesday, 13 on Saturday. I don't know if you could approach it this way, but I was a lot more concerned in the first half Saturday night, knowing the weapons that Houston has, knowing the streak they were on. They'd won 5 straight, and their last loss had been to SMU, and knowing that they were looking for a resume builder, if you will.
Absolutely.
And that had me pretty concerned in that first half, down 13.
No question. You know, we knew and we talked about it that this was by far Houston's biggest game of the year. You know, they've been playing their way up the ladder. They've been playing very well, won a lot of games. They've kind of found themselves. They really got taken the game to a couple guards that are scoring the ball. They're great offensive weapons. So we knew that would be the case. We're going to get their very, very best shot. And, of course, we didn't get off to a great start. They did. They were as sharp as they could be in making every shot. And offensively, they were really executing. I thought we were a little rushed. I thought we were, forced some things early and dug the hole. I wasn't, time has a lot to do with deficit for me, and we're down 13 with about, 10, 11, maybe even 9. I'm still okay with that. You go back to Tulane when it's 15 at halftime. You know, it's the time and the score. But I do agree with you. The start that they got was very worrisome because you knew what they had in their tank. They were going to go down fighting for 40 minutes. It was going to be very difficult to come back. But we've got some fighters. We really do. We got some guys. They don't go down easy. Adversity has not pulled them apart, which I love. It does a lot of teams. Our team, it doesn't. It always seems to rally them and they unite, which is something we talk about all the time. How are we going to handle adversity? And this team so far has handled it really every single time. Every time, we've fallen behind, a big amount, they've dug themselves out.
In that second half, Rob Gray, who ended up scoring 23 to lead everybody in the game for Houston, I think he had their first 8 points of the second half too, but picked up a couple more fouls. First, he picked up the foul that got him to 3. And was it intentional that Jeray Foster's drive it on in the very next possession?
It might be. It might be. We might look for things like that every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, we work hard at things like that. We try to find things we can exploit. I'll say it that way. And he's a great offensive player, and certainly we were much better off when he wasn't in the game for sure.
Is that something you call from the bench? Is that something your guys recognize to go right after?
I mean, we it's what we call, yeah. But we try. They've gotten to a point which has really been fun. Every now they'll look over at me and they'll give that head nod like, how about this guy? How about him? And I love, I may have called something else and they'll be shaking that head like, let's go over here. So I know that we're on the same page.
You never got their shooting percentage down probably where you wanted to, but I guess it didn't matter when your guys shoot 56% in the second half of that game.
Yeah, I think we hung 50, right? Didn't we score 50 points?
Exactly.
And I think we held them to 41%, if I'm not mistaken, field goal percentage. I'd take that any day of the week at Houston in that game with the weapons they have. I would I'd have signed up so fast for that before the game if you'd offered it, which you did not. You did not say anything about it. But
I didn't.
Had you, I would have taken it and run like crazy. So I'm actually very proud of that number.
And then you got to like it again. Another road game that's not too far away, and the fans turn out. I know that we had a lot of fans that live in Houston, but a lot, too, that I saw from here that were down there. There were 3 full sections right behind the SMU bench.
Wasn't that great? That was terrific.
They were having to try and shout down the SMU chant.
Yes.
Because that was their best crowd of the season, too,
Absolutely.
that they had.
No, yeah, not only did they get their best effort, but they got their best crowd.
Yeah.
They got, it was all going that way, but we traveled well. Our fans were great, and I always say this, it does have an impact. Sometimes I think fans wonder, hey, if you want to help, you can help. You can influence games. You can influence the games if you want to bad enough, and our guys recognize that.
So this Saturday you're going for win number 25, and that would be 4 straight years of that.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, but that's great. Great.
That
to
is
know.
awesome,
Great
isn't
to
it?
know. It'd be a good. I'd rather do it on a weekend. I think we should do it on the weekend, not the weekdays. Weekends.
Hits the pollsters a little bit better.
Yeah, for
Gets
sure.
the headlines better.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking because it's our next one. That's what I was meaning.
Okay.
But not an easy one. Connecticut, since we saw them last, kind of like Houston, and we saw them back to back. Whatever, how many weeks ago we played them back to back. We're playing them back to back again. We ignite teams, for gosh sakes.
Seems like it.
Once Houston left us, they've been tremendous. They've been as hot as anyone in the league, and once UConn left here, they've been as hot as anyone. They went from like 8th in our league, if I'm not mistaken, clear up to I think they're tied for 3rd, and they're just their shooting percentage. You talk about scary. They draw. It's going to be a great crowd. It always is when you go there. They have great tradition, but the worst part for me is their shooting percentages over the last 5 games and 8 games is incredible. And when we played them before, we thought, they're not really all that good shooting team. We could really pack it in and hurt them, and we did. Since that time, for whatever reason, they've just had all these guys have taken off and just shooting the tar out of the ball. So that's why they're winning. They're shooting it great. It's pretty simple, but hard to deal with.
And that next game against Connecticut is coming up Saturday. Again, 11 a.m. is the tip time for that one. 11 o'clock Central Time. It's on CBS and here on 770 KAAM. Coming up next, let's see if there's any concerns that the coach has about his team. Surely he's got something he's concerned with as they head into the stretch drive here. We'll do that next on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Maggiano's Little Italy specializes in serving lavish portions of authentic Italian-American cuisine. The menu is large and varied, offering homemade pastas, signature salads, prime steaks, fresh fish, and memorable desserts. Maggiano's Little Italy treats you like you've been going there forever, even on your first visit. Not only do they have incredible lunches and dinners, they're also a perfect choice for a banquet of any size. Come as you are for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. We're a time worth having. At Maggiano's Little Italy, you get more of everything. Maggiano's is located at North Park Mall in Dallas.
Business is a game, and if you want to win, you have to be faster, smarter, and more focused than the competition. Which is why SMU Cox offers the Fast Track 1-year MBA, designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Learn from world-class faculty, study with driven peers, and connect to a global alumni network spanning 80 countries. The Fast Track 1-year MBA, a major career highlight, only from SMU Cox. More online at coxgrad.com.
You found that special someone to spend the rest of your life with. But where do you start with often overwhelming wedding ceremony and reception needs? One call to the rental experts at M&M Event Rentals will quickly ease your event anxiety as you learn about renting your tent, tables, chairs and linen, and even stunning custom floral table centerpieces, all from one company with decades of experience and professionalism. Visit them online at mmspecialevents.com and like them on Facebook to see the wonderful ways they can enrich your wedding celebrations.
Nothing works up an appetite more than a nail-biting, on the edge of your seat, fan-roaring Mustang basketball game. So after we swish that buzzer-beating shot, swing by Ruth's Chris for our 3-course menu, starting at just $44.95. Enjoy a complete meal that includes a starter, delicious entree, personal side dish, and, of course, some decadent dessert. Eat like a winner tonight and make your Ruth's reservation at our North Dallas location or in our new spot in Uptown at Cedar Springs and Harwood.
Get closer to the game day action. Enter the Nissan Ultimate Access Sweepstakes for your chance to win a diehard fan experience. Enter at choosenissan.com/sweepstakes and you could walk away with a win. Take on game day. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the SMU Mustangs. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Starts 2/10/17 and ends on 3/6/17. Open to residents of the contiguous 48 U.S. states D.C. 18 and over. Official rules. Visit choosenissan.com/sweepstakes.
This isn't going to work. No matter what we say, some people still drive drunk. But we're Budweiser. Giving a damn is what we do. So, if you think it's okay to drive drunk, if you think it's something that's debatable, or you just simply don't care, this Bud is not for you. Give a damn. Don't drive drunk. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I'm Rich Phillips. We're with you every Monday night, 7 to 8 here on Humperdinck's, Greenville in Dallas, from 7 until 8 every Monday night. The show brought to you in part by SMU's Lyle School of Engineering, offering master's programs through on-campus and distance education options with tuition reductions available for military personnel across the globe. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu. Mustangs at 24-4, up to 17th in the country after 2 wins last week. So surely the coach has no concerns, right?
None.
None whatsoever.
Not one.
Huh?
No, you woke me up. I'm so relaxed over here. Yeah.
I would think that after back-to-back games down 15, down 13,
that'd be one,
be
right?
a few concerns
That would
for
be
the team.
one.
But what are things that you're looking to clean up with your team's play?
Well, because of the starts that we've had, that you'd think that I would be really concerned that we need to start better. But, if you look at our whole season, we've had a whole bunch of games where we started unbelievably, and at halftime we had a huge lead. So, truth be told, I'm not really that worried about that. Maybe if it happens a couple more times, I will be. One thing I always worry about is injury and illness, of course. That's an every day. I'm starting to worry a little bit less because, less time. I mean, we've gone a long time and kind of hung in there. But I think the other one, that honestly, that and it's something I want to definitely talk about a lot this week. I think our biggest enemy, and this is just human nature, it goes with college athletics, or at least college basketball, which is the one I know, is our enemy is kind of outside influence right now. A lot of people are going to be and are in our guys' ears. Their families and friends and people that care about them and all that, and so there's a lot of distracting noise, if you will, and it's not always on the same page. And this team has done as good a job as any team I've been with of being on one page, just one page. The only page that we're on is the one where we're trying to beat them. That's it. We don't care who gets the credit. We don't care who scores and who doesn't, and we just care about the final score. And these guys have done it amazingly well. But I've seen this happen a lot when success comes, and we're not so much on the climb anymore. We could get a little complacent and feel like, you know what, we've earned all this. So now let's cash in a few chips, and the people, in their ears talking about that. So has that happened? I don't think so. But you ask what concerns me. It's does outside influence get into our locker room? Does outside influence get into our game, into the game, or can we stay? I say it all the time, incredibly narrow focused, and block all that out. So that really is my number 1 and 2 concern, to be honest with you.
And along those lines, you don't keep your guys off social media, right?
No, I don't think I could if I tried.
Sure. But that's got to be, when you talk about outside influences, you can read an awful lot about yourselves and about your team on there too.
Yeah, I always ask them to, and I know it's on deaf ears. I tell them that I highly recommend not reading, listening, watching anything. It's only a distraction. It can't help you. It just cannot help you. And I know that. Again, this day and age, it's a lot different than when I was playing. They didn't have all this, but I think that can be dangerous. Some guys can get influenced by that. I don't think our guys have at all by the way they play. But I'm not even talking about social media. I'm talking about their circles. The circles where they come from, families and friends and people that care about them, and it's all in good. It's good-hearted, but it doesn't mean that it'll all be on the same page. So it's something that we'll really talk about and hope that we can combat that. And this is something that every program having success right now. Well, every program that's something that you have to deal with, and it can be dangerous.
And you mentioned another one too that I know we hate to discuss, but it is injury. And really, lately you've been playing 6 guys primarily. Has it made you to do practices different or anything to try to avoid things like that?
Yes.
Yeah?
In a word, yes. It's made us be creative, and because, number one, the last thing I want to do is overwork this team. Okay, to me that would be the biggest mistake I could make. I kind of go from there. All right, what would be the worst thing I could do is I could get 6 guys who are playing an amazing amount of minutes. And now, Deshaun's healthy again, so we do have 7. And as I've always said, Jonathan has worked his way into being good enough to play. As of now, I'm not playing them very much, but it could change in a dime. But the worst thing I could do is wear them out. Is get them to where I've overtrained them, and then they're not fresh, and especially this time of year. The next thing is if I overtrained them, then we all, it's kind of simple. More injuries take place when you're fatigued than when you're fresh. So we have to start there. But then at the same time, you say, well, let's never practice. Let's just go to the game. Well, then we wouldn't be any good. So. But
a lot of players might be happy if you didn't practice, right?
They would love it. They would love it. But so that's why I say we've had to try to be creative in trying to create an environment of an intensity, but not for a long time, and still feel like we're covering the things that need to be done in order to be successful. And it's taken a lot of time and thought, to be honest, and so far it's working, but I always question every day, can we do more, should we do less? I'd like to do more from the standpoint of I'd like to fix this, and this. I'd like to get a little better at these 3 things, but at the same time it's going to take X amount of time, and I don't want them out there that long. So it's been interesting in trying to judge that.
And the last thing you want to see probably is a game with 44 fouls called in it.
Yes,
that was concerning.
And I'm kind of calming down about that because our guys have done such a great job of playing disciplined. Someone told me, are we number 1 in the country in least fouls? Someone told me that. I don't know if I'm right about that. I don't look at all the national stuff all the time, but if not, we're one of them.
Yeah.
We're one of them. Which, boy, if ever a year that you want to be great at that,
this is it.
This would be that year. And so I've just kind of calmed down about that. Early in the year, I was really worried, really, really worried, ready to slap a zone on at any moment of 2 fouls, And now I just have watched how mature they are and how disciplined they are, and they've learned to play really hard and play really well without fouling very much. So I do have a confidence in that, and that's helped me make decisions that I think are best for us. The more I realize, hey, these guys can hang in there, it allowed us to coach in a way that I think gives us the best chance to win.
And the next chance for that is coming up on Saturday at 11 a.m. when SMU plays at UConn. Up next, it's the Ask the Coach segment with some questions from the audience, and we'll do that next year on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Hey, college football fans, you already know that we live in one of the great sports cities in the country. And folks here know the best place to watch the game in the Metroplex is at Humperdinck's, Dallas's original sports restaurant and brewery. At Humperdinck's, they know how to do football. Join the fun in Addison, Arlington on Northwest Highway, or at the home of the Mustangs, Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, where they've been SMU proud for 40 years and counting. Great burgers, ribs, steaks, and more. They're serving food every night till 1:30 a.m. Check them out online at humperdinks.com.
Your neighbors get a new car. You get a better car. They went to a dealership. You went to Credit Union of Texas. Use the money you save financing with CUTX to buy something awesome, like a swimming pool full of money. Your neighbors don't have a swimming pool full of money. Now the Joneses are keeping up with you. Experience more victory at CUTX.org. Loans are subject to credit approval. Federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to your signage needs, trust the experts at Fast Signs North Central. With more than 50 years of knowledge, Fast Signs North Central will help provide you with a true turnkey experience. From branding and design work to complete production and installation, let Fast Signs North Central make your vision a reality by calling 214-890-4444 or find them online at fastsigns.com/11. Fast Signs North Central. More than fast, more than signs.
If you experience hip or knee pain, I know what you're thinking. Whew. And basically, you have 2 choices. You can wait until the gets so bad you can't stand it, or you can take the first step to living without right now at yourjointhealth.com. An online hip and knee assessment from the health system more people choose for joint health in North Texas. Texas Health. Visit yourjointhealth.com today.
Are you serving or have served our country? SMU's Lyle School of Engineering offers master's programs and tuition reductions for military personnel across the globe. For veterans and those in the uniformed services of the U.S., our distance education programs provide a way to help engineer our nation's future. It's just one way SMU is saying thank you to those who protect and serve our country. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu.
There are Mustangs fans. And then there are Mustangs super fans who pony up with an official SMU toll tag. That's because nothing says hail to the red and blue everywhere you drive like an NTTA SMU toll tag. Just $19.99. To get yours, stop by SMU Parking and ID Services or any toll tag store location. The SMU toll tag from North Texas Tollway Authority. Get there smarter.
Welcome back to Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue in Dallas. It's the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I'm Rich Phillips. We're here every Monday night from 7 until 8. We only got a few more of these left, though, because you only got a few more games left, too.
That makes me so sad.
I know it
I'm
does.
so sad.
I know
I hope
you're
I can
sad.
get through the rest of this.
Just 3 more regular season games for SMU starting up this week when they play Saturday at 11 a.m. In Connecticut, in Hartford, and we'll talk about that game coming up here in just a moment. The Fast Track is presented by Credit Union of Texas. That was founded in 1931. CUTX, proud to be your financial partner on and off the court. Experience more at CUTX.org. Credit Union of Texas, a proud partner of SMU basketball. It's time for our Ask the Coach segment this week, and we'll start off first with Dale from Dallas, who asked the question, with the tremendous success that you're having, playing great athletes and no true center this year, do you feel the need to still recruit a big man going forward, or can you get away with what you're doing? Not get away with.
Get away with it. Yeah, we're getting away
succeed
with
with
it.
what you're doing. You're not getting away with anything.
Well, yeah, I like to say this year we're playing 5 guards. I think Ben Moore's a guard. The way he doesn't guard guards. He has to guard big guys, but we're kind of a 5-guard team, and it's a lot of fun. We did sign someone that I guess you would classify as a big guy, Ethan Shagwa from Oklahoma. But honestly, Ethan was a guy that grew really late and grew up playing guard. That's why he's so skilled. So I'm hoping we're going to be able to call him a guard. He's just a really, really big guard. But he can shoot the ball, he can pass, he can dribble. Really, really skilled. We watched him a lot in the summer and was very impressed. But when we went to his school and watched him play pickup, it was like, holy cow, he's a guard. He's a darn guard. So it's a great question. I guess I would say we're going to just always try to recruit the best players we can get and then formulate a team from there. I don't want to just try to go get a big guy or a little guy or this or that. I really want it to be more specific. If we think he can really play and has the right character and the right work ethic, then we'll figure out how to have a team with them.
The game's not quite as center-driven as it was when we were growing up, it seems.
No. Well, first of all, the three-point shot, the three-point line changed things dramatically, as did the shot clock.
Yep.
And if you watch, even the NBA, it just keeps getting smaller and smaller. It used to be dominated by someone that you just threw it into. And I can't tell you if I had a quarter for every, in all the time that I've coached, if I had a quarter for everyone that said, well, you're a college coach, and, well, do you have a 7-footer? It's like, that's the number one question. Like, I would be a zillionaire if I could have had a quarter every time someone asked me that. And, in my mind, I'm thinking, you mean, do we have a great point guard? Because that's the way I see. You need great guards. So I think the game is getting smaller and smaller. The NBA is getting smaller. We're getting smaller. I think there's a lot of ways to skin the cat.
Let's move on here. Mark from Fayetteville, Tennessee, sent in a question online. It says, as the starting 5 comes out on their way to the court for tip-off, he's noticed that each player stops at the score table and appeared to put on their hands on what appeared to be the scorebook. Is that some sort of tradition that they have?
I have no idea. I'm embarrassed.
I have no idea
I'm
either.
spacing out into somewhere else. I didn't even know that was the case. Maybe they're not shaking hands with someone.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, now I'll have to get to the bottom of that. Guess what we're going to talk about tomorrow at practice?
There you go.
I don't know.
Lead?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I need to observe a little more closely.
Surely they're giving high five to somebody at the scores table.
I do not know.
I thought maybe you knew of a tradition.
Well, whatever they're doing, we're not changing it. Okay, we're not messing with it.
No, it's worked. It's worked.
In fact,
for sure.
I may not bring it up. Not till the end of the year.
And Cody sends in a question. Coach, in one of your recent post-game interviews, thank you for listening to those, by the way, you advised that your focus is on the conference races. Would you like to see the regular season conference champion get an automatic bid instead of the tournament champion?
I've said that forever. Forever and ever and ever. I've seen a million times, especially when you go down just to the leagues that maybe are one-bid leagues. I mean, how do you not reward the champion of the league season who has proven themselves over night after night after week and all that goes into it, and they win the league and they go to the tournament, somebody throws in a half-court shot, and the next thing they know, they're out. And I don't understand that. And I do understand money, and I do understand marketing, and I understand that the postseason tournaments were about making money and marketing and all that and excitement, and it's great. But if you go back in the old days, there was the time, and I'm not saying this would be great either, but originally, the championship was set up by only the winner of the league. I think the ACC was the only one, if I'm not mistaken, that played a conference tournament. Everybody else, there were 16 leagues, I think, and everybody sent their representative, and then they had their regionals, and then you went and had a national champion. And to me, that was the true one. I still argue that we shouldn't call it the national champion. We should call it the national tournament champion. That's really all it is. I mean, we've seen teams get 5th place in their league and win the national championship. Now, someone please explain that to me, how you're the national champion. You got 5th in a league, for gosh sake. So I agree wholeheartedly. I think you should play the tournament to show who's the other one that might get in, is what I think. But no one would certainly probably go to that, and no one cares what I think. But you asked the question, and I'm a big believer that the conference champion deserves more than they get.
And you mentioned some of those like the one bid leagues that keeps a 13 and 17 team from making it into the tournament if you went with the regular season champion.
Yes, well, exactly right. Yeah, no question. And I know too that it does keep a lot of hope alive. It's good in a lot of ways to where, you're in 5th place and, you're not going to get a at-large bid maybe, or you're in 9th place, but you still have that conference tournament to look forward to. And there is some real positives there because it keeps everybody engaged. It keeps, people from checking out early and just go, well, we're going nowhere anyway. So I think that's really positive and healthy. And I think that still there should be hope for everyone. I just don't know how you don't reward conference champions more than we actually do.
That is Tim Jankovich here on the Fast Track, as we are here every Monday night from Humperdinck's on Greenville in Dallas. The Mustangs playing on Saturday. It's an 11 a.m. Central Time start against Connecticut, and we'll look at the Huskies. Coming up next here on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Are you really into food? I mean, really into food? Do you slice your own bacon? Do you have a favorite squash? Do you know what truffles taste like? Can you spell bouillabaisse? Does the phrase sauce packet make you sad? When I say cheese, do you smile? Can you use udon in a sentence other than udon stop cooking? Have you ever read a cookbook and thought, now this would make a good movie? Do you like chicken piccata? Getting caught in lo mein? Are you really into food? If the answer's yes, Central Market awaits. With handmade sausages, an on-site bakery, acres of veggies, and aisles of experts, this is where you get consumed by food. Iceberg lettuce, Titanic shrimp, angel hair, and devil's food. From juicy white cherries to black molasses, Central Market is ripe with succulent samples and fresh perspective. Fill a basket with your favorites and fill your head with ideas. Central Market, for those really into food. Visit our Dallas, Plano, Fort Worth, or South Lake locations.
Highland Park and Preston Hollow Emergency Room, the official ER of SMU, and your neighborhood no-wait ER. With 2 facilities conveniently located near you, we're able to provide the Dallas area with upscale, quality care for all your emergency needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit HighlandParkER.com for more information. Highland Park and Preston Hollow ER. Pony up.
Hey, college football fans, you already know that we live in one of the great sports cities in the country. And folks here know the best place to watch the game in the Metroplex is at Humperdinck's, Dallas's original sports restaurant and brewery. At Humperdinck's, they know how to do football. Join the fun in Addison, Arlington on Northwest Highway, or at the home of the Mustangs, Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, where they've been SMU proud for 40 years and counting. Great burgers, ribs, steaks, and more. They're serving food every night till 1:30 a.m. Check them out online at humperdinks.com.
I drive 310 miles one way just so I can have Sewell service my vehicle because I trust them.
What could possibly make people behave this way?
I go over there sometime just to hang out.
A manner of customer service you'll find at no other dealership.
You can't beat the service anywhere else.
I don't know what my next car will be, but it will be a Sewell.
Sewell Buick GMC, proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Visit us at SewellBuickGMC.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
Nothing works up an appetite more than a nail-biting, on the edge of your seat, fan-roaring Mustang basketball game. So after we swish that buzzer-beating shot, swing by Ruth's Chris for our 3-course menu, starting at just $44.95. Enjoy a complete meal that includes a starter, delicious entree, personal side dish, and, of course, some decadent dessert. Eat like a winner tonight and make your Ruth's reservation at our North Dallas location or in our new spot in Uptown at Cedar Springs and Harwood.
Welcome back to Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas. Rich Phillips and Tim Jankovich with you for the Fast Track, talking SMU basketball every Monday night here on 770 KAAM. And we're going to look ahead now, presented by the Cox School of Business, offering the new Fast Track one-year MBA designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Visit coxgrad.com for more information. Well, Coach, you always tell me you only look one ahead, so good news is we can look at every game this week because you got just one.
I know.
It's Saturday, again, at 11 a.m. Central Time. Start against the University of Connecticut, 10:45 for our pregame here on 770 KAAM. You and I have chatted off the air, and we are both big fans of early games. It'll be noon where we are. Are your players big fans of early games?
I don't think that early. I don't. Game day for me is just semi-miserable. Waiting. So the earlier we can get that thing going. And there's nothing better than an early game that you win, and then you have the whole rest of the day to feel good. I love that. So I'm very appreciative that the conference is starting us at noon. I am a little worried that our guys' body time, let's make it more important. It's about them than how I feel.
Sure.
So it is a concern. It's an 11 o'clock a.m. tip for our guys' body time. So we're talking about getting off to a good start. I hope that we're wide awake. We're considering getting them up really early and jogging around downtown a little bit or something. I don't know what we're going to have to do, but that is, a tiny bit of a concern.
Don't include me on that group wake-up call.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll be fine come game time.
Okay, good.
Connecticut's won 4 straight, and since we last saw them, they've won 7 of their last 8. You mentioned we're kind of kicking teams off here and getting them moving. What have they been doing so much better that's got them up to 9-5 now in league play?
I think they're just shooting it so much better. I think they're at the time, we felt like they weren't a really good three-point shooting team and allowed us to really hurt them, I think, defensively. Now you're going to have to respect a lot more guys, and the problem is their point guard, Adams, is a great player, great point guard, and he's really fast and he's really clever. And so if he plays with a big floor, in other words, that you're stretched out, he can be awfully tough to handle. Last time we played him, that wasn't the case, and we didn't have to pay for really helping and clogging up the lane. So that's first concern. Another one is, they're a very, very, very proud program with great tradition, great fans, great expectations, and they have climbed their way up. So, never an easy place to win. They will be coming off, I think they play Wednesday night at Houston, so they get to go do what we just did, which will not be easy, and they travel from there. So I do like, I don't like the noon tip for our guys, but I do like the fact they're playing at Houston Wednesday night, and, we're kind of recharging a little bit.
And they've got another one of those interesting players in the league because another big-time shot blocker, Amita Brima, his 71 blocks as himself, only 23 less than your team has this season, and he's been doing it for 4 years there and really has grown in those 4 years, especially that shot blocking. He's always been great.
He's great. No, he's whenever you play them, you basically know that he's going to take away 7 or 8 feet of the court from you, maybe a little more most of the night. He's got great anticipation. He's got great second bounce. I've seen him block shots, 2 shots right in a row, just bam, bam, and so impressive. He's a real weapon that they've had. He's anchored their defense. I think anytime you have, anytime you have a shot blocker, you are allowed to make more defensive mistakes out front. You're allowed to gamble a little bit more. You're allowed to pressure a little bit more because you've got protection behind you. And he's been a great asset for them in that regard for a number of years. It's time for him to go. Time for him to leave.
Thankfully, he's a senior, right? We talked about this when they came here last time around. This is, it's always special, obviously, to play a big time in a storied program, as you mentioned, like Connecticut. To me, and you feel this way too, this is kind of where it started for your program. This was 4 seasons ago. The new Moody Coliseum reopens. Huge win against a top 25 team, and then went up there the next month to Storrs, to the campus facility, and backed it up. Won a conference championship against these guys a couple of years ago, and those things you don't like, those conference championship games that give you automatic bids, but it was big.
It was.
But I got to feel like these guys kind of are looking for us on the schedule, looking for SMU on the schedule these days.
No question about it. Yeah, you're right. It did I guess, ironic, if that's, I don't even know if it's the right word, if it was ironic, but fortuitous that we opened Moody with Connecticut. So that was, a lot of interest. Obviously, Connecticut's coming to town. They're a great program, and it's sold out, and what a great day. And that did kickstart us. But, even if that had not happened, I think for our guys, there's certain teams in our league that no matter what would feel like awfully big games, and I know Connecticut's one, just because of the amount of success that they've had. Our guys always seem to get ready to play. Hope that's the case again Saturday. But on the flip side of it, we have been successful against them a number of times. I'm sure they're pointing that out, and it is a huge game for them. Kind of like Houston,
Yep.
They're looking to get relevant in terms of the NCAA committee, I'm sure. And in order to do that, you got to beat some ranked teams. So opportunity-wise, they couldn't. I mean, I'm sure they're so thankful that they've got that chance, and they also play Cincinnati. They have both of us. Cincinnati has to go there as well, so they do have the opportunity right on their home floor.
You like that they've moved the last several years to Hartford? Means the show coming to town, right?
Say that again.
They've moved it. Yeah, for us, they've moved it to Hartford this now 3 years in a row.
I was going to say, we've only been to Storrs one time.
One time. That's it.
I know. I guess because either way, I don't care, but I guess that is a sign of respect.
Yeah.
I hope it is. And it is a little bit easier trip for us, so that's
no doubt.
That's a good thing. So maybe we can stay there.
Maybe we can, and then we'll be back there in a few weeks too to play the conference tournament up in Hartford as well. It is an 11 a.m. Central Time start on Saturday for SMU in Connecticut. It's on CBS. That's big CBS this Saturday, and it's also on 770 KAAM. Wrapping things up here on the show, coming up next, and I'm going to ask Coach if he'd ever want to be a part of something like this. That's coming up next here on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Texas Institute for Surgery is a state-of-the-art physician-partnered acute care hospital that specializes in treating sports medicine, orthopedics, joint replacement, spine, and pain management, among many other clinical services. Texas Institute for Surgery has earned the reputation of providing the best in surgical care. Texas Institute for Surgery, the first choice for care by physicians and patients. Go to TexasInstituteForSurgery.com for more information. Texas Institute for Surgery is a physician-owned hospital.
This is Jason Witten for Albertsons. Here's a suggestion for you. Save a little cash and show your Cowboy spirit as well. On game days this year, wear a Cowboy jersey and you'll save 10% on all your groceries. And of course, I know just the jersey to wear.
Albertsons and Tom Thumb, your favorite local supermarkets, and proud sponsor of the SMU Mustangs. Albertsons and Tom Thumb.
Once upon a time, your car was a new car. All the latest features, that new car smell. But now, Bob has an even newer car. And your car smells like hamburger wrappers and wet dog. Bob's car has Wi-Fi. Outsmart Bob and finance your next car with Credit Union of Texas. Our competitive rates are your happily ever after. Experience more winning at CUTX.org. Loans are subject to credit approval. Federally insured by NCUA.
I drive 310 miles one way just so I can have Soul service my vehicle because I trust them.
What could possibly make people behave this way?
I go over there sometime just to hang out.
A manner of customer service you'll find at no other dealership.
You can't beat the service anywhere else.
I don't know what my next car will be, but it will be a Sewell.
Sewell Cadillac, a proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Visit us at SewellCadillac.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
We are wrapping things up tonight on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I'm Rich Phillips here at Humperdinck's in Dallas. And the Fast Track is delivered to you by Nissan. A win for your team is a win for you, too. There's nothing quite like it except driving a Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com today and take on game day. Just 2 more home games left for the SMU Mustangs next week. Limited tickets remain for them as well. And you can get them at 214 SMU Game or SMUMustangs.com this week on the road. Saturday, 11 a.m. against Connecticut. But what I wanted to ask if you would want any part of is a basketball game in which the final score was 192 to 182. Last night's NBA All-Star game.
In a word, no. No. Absolutely no. I just can't believe that anyone would want to watch that. You know, I mean, I think it's sad, you know. I just think when you just mess with the game like that, I don't know. When you're not competing and you're just kind of going around I'll let you score, you let me score. I don't know why that would be interesting to anybody.
I used to love it when I was a kid when the Nuggets would come to town to play the Mavericks and you were guaranteed both teams would be in the 130s. But a lot of that was talent on offense and what the team's playing.
Pace of play, without a doubt. No question, yes.
And they weren't defending like, you know, the Bulls of the 90s or anything like that, but there was certainly an effort. But that's the thing that I don't understand how they can represent that as basketball with 192 points.
I mean, you barely could score that 5-on-0 out there in 48 minutes. I mean, I don't know. I'm baffled. And I don't know how the players could, you know, I mean, I don't know how it could be fun to them when it's that easy. It's not even competition, you know. I don't know. I don't know why people would go pay to watch it or whatever, but they are, so they're going to keep doing it.
I mean, offense is fun. No doubt, right?
For sure, but that's not even right. I love high scoring. I love high scoring, but that's not even high scoring. That's not even offense. That's just I'll let you do whatever you want. You let me do whatever I want. And we'll call it a game, and we'll keep track of it. And it just seems silly to me.
I know you love defense, though, too. And you got to be pretty proud of your team giving up less than 59 points per game all season long. That is a tough number. Anything under 60 is tough to get to.
Well, truth be told, you know, I love, like most people, I love offense more than I love to watch offense. I love to think about offense. I love creative offense. And, you know, defense is more of a science and a grind and a tough, you know. So, but as a coach, I love defense because I do believe that defense and rebounding, first and foremost, gives you the best opportunity to win games over time. So that's where, you know, that's why I always talk about defense because I know how important it is.
Did Coach Brown instill any more of that in you while you worked for him the last few years, or did you already have that?
No, that was, I mean, of course he has that mindset, absolutely. But I had, you know, been with a lot of people, including my college coach, that like, you know, it was taught from an early age, you know, that in college that the way we're first going to win is we have to be great defensively, we have to be solid and all those kind of things. And then, you know, think about the defensive coaches I worked for along the line. But Coach Brown, of course, was along those same exact lines.
Well, we'll see that SMU defense and some offense on display, too. Saturday, 11 a.m. Central Time. It's on CBS. It's right here on 770.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
KAAM. Yes. Thanks so much. Great crowd. We'll see you again next Monday night from 7 to 8 for the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
From Learfield on the Mustang Sports Network, live from Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich has been brought to you by Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, proud sponsors of SMU Athletics. Credit Union of Texas. Be a part of something unexpected. CUTX.org. Experience more. Also by NTTA. Save money on North Texas toll roads with an SMU toll tag. Texas Institute for Surgery. Always providing unparalleled clinical excellence, care, and service for every patient. Texas Institute for Surgery is a physician-owned hospital. And by Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue with daily food and drink specials. Join the MVP Club today. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Mustangs Sports Network.